liberation begins.
Oh, I don't feel so good. Hey guys, it's DT back on the channel with another big Lego set. Today we are taking a look at the new Lego X-Mansion. If there was one Lego set that I absolutely had to have, I think it would have to be this one. As you guys know, I am a huge Wolverine and X-Men fan. If you don't believe me, check out the video right here. I've got a huge X-Men collection, whether it be comic books, toys, statues, original art, you name it, I collect it. So when I found out they were doing a Lego X-Mansion, I had to get on board. So this is set 76294. It's 3,093 pieces, and it's recommended for ages 18 and up. It retails for $330 plus tax. So I got this one at the Lego store. If you guys want to see what else they had at the Lego store, make sure to check out my video over on the Tube family. But I made the trip out just for this set right here. So looking at this set, looks pretty cool. To be honest, I'm a little bit more excited about the minifigures that come with the set than the actual building itself. However, there does appear to be some play features as well. We also get a buildable Sentinel, which is pretty cool. If we put the box down, we can see the minifigures. We get 10 minifigures in addition to that buildable Sentinel. We got Wolverine, Professor X, Storm, Cyclops, Rogue, Iceman, Gambit, Bishop, Magneto, and Jean Grey. Let's go ahead and take a look at the back of the box. You can set up all sorts of different kind of battle scenes with the X-Men defending the mansion against this Sentinel. Down here, we can see that the whole thing is modular. We get a little scene with Wolverine on the bed. Then it looks like we have the danger room. We've got Professor X in the hover chair. And then we've got Rogue and Cyclops over in the study. So this whole thing is 15 inches wide and 10.5 inches tall. So it's not a huge set, especially when you compare it to some of the other Lego Marvel sets, such as the Daily Bugle and Avengers Tower. Let me go ahead and open this up. Okay, so we got a box inside, which I'm sure has many more bags. And then it looks like we have some bags in here. Bag 15. Bag 19, bag 17,
bag 18, bag 16, bag 24, bag 20, bag 13, bag 23, bag 14, bag 21, and bag 22.
So it looks like we're supposed to start with the stuff in this box first. Looks like we have 3 little booklets for the building instructions, along with some stickers. Then we got more bags, bag 5, bag 3. So we got our instructions, we got our pieces. Let's build the mansion. Okay guys, here it is, the completed Lego X-Mansion. Let's go ahead and start off with the minifigures. First off, we have Storm. She's got her white suit on, the white hair. She's got this cool little cape that connects to her wrists. And then as far as her lightning bolts go, they're kind of just attached to a transparent piece that she holds in her hand. Some nice printing on the torso, no printing on the legs. This one has 2 faces. One with more of a serious, mad look, and the other one kind of a neutral, smiling expression. Next up, we have Magneto. This is pretty cool. He's got the comic accurate red and purple. Again, no printing on the leg on this guy. He's got a little bit of muscle printing on the front of his torso. He's got the cool helmet. He has 2 faces, one kind of a evil smirk, and then a mad portrait. He's holding these little purple transparent pieces as his little power. He's got this cool molded cape, kind of hard but flexible. I like it a lot better than the paper capes, and I like it a lot better than the fabric capes. It might be kind of hard to stick him in any kind of chair or vehicle, with this cape on, but I think overall as a minifigure, I prefer it to the other style of capes. He also comes with white hair as well, if you wanted to have an unmasked Magneto. Next up, we've got Jean Grey. She's holding a similar transparent piece to Magneto, except hers are pink. She also has a little handle with a single stud on it, just for variation. Her costume looks pretty cool. We got the printing again on the torso, nothing on the legs. She has the blue gloves on. She's got some printing on the back as well. She's got two faces, kind of a neutral face, and then a more serious battle face, I guess. And she's got these cool shoulder pads as well. All right, then we've got Bishop. I really like the printing on this guy. Very reminiscent of comic book Bishop with that little red bandana around his neck. He's got some cool detailed printing on the belt, as well as some printing on his leg. He's got the 90s belt with all the pouches around him. He's got this really cool long braided hair. He's got two faces as well. One where he's mad and we can see his teeth, and the other one, again, more of a neutral face. And he's got this cool brick-built gun. He's also got this little pink piece in his hand to go along with his little portal. All right, then we have Iceman. This guy is pretty cool. He's all white. He's got the icy printing on his face and body. You can see his little underwear as the printing goes down onto his legs. I think it looks cool, like a little snowman with muscles, and he's got the little handles that hold on to these blue crystals that he's shooting out of his hands. All right, then we've got Professor X, Charles Xavier. He's got his suit on. We got the printing for the jacket and the tie, and some stripes on the shirt. No printing on this guy's legs, but you don't really see his legs anyway because he's sitting down in the hover chair. He's got one face, just kind of a serious look on his face. I think the hover chair looks pretty cool. If you did want a traditional wheelchair instead of the hover chair, you're gonna have to get that free set that was sold out on day one. All right, and then we've got Rogue. Rogue's got some nice printing. We've got the yellow and green color scheme. Everything looks a little bit darker on her torso, not quite as vibrant as on her legs. But that's what happens, I guess, when you print on a darker color. She's got the yellow gloves. She actually wears a leather jacket, so it would have been nice if that was brown instead of green. You definitely know it's Rogue when you see the hair with the little white streaks in it. She's got a green headband as well, and two faces, one smiling and the other one a little bit angry. Then we have Cyclops. He's got printing on both his torso and his legs. Traditional blue and yellow. I like that he has that little shoulder harness and of course all the pouches on his belt. His two faces look almost exactly the same. The difference being that one of his mouths kind of angles downward into a frown and the other one kind of angles upwards into a smile. But it's very subtle. And if you actually use the beam up to his eye, you're probably not even gonna see his face. The way the beam works is that he holds this little handle that this spring-loaded shooter is attached to, and he puts it up to his face, and it looks like it's coming out of his visor. Then we have Wolverine. This guy looks pretty good. He's got the yellow and blue outfit with the tiger stripes. We got the red belt, the blue underwear, the yellow legs, and then of course the blue boots. It's just printed right there on the front, so it kind of makes it look a little weird from the side. That yellow isn't quite as vibrant again on the darker blue. And then he has the blue gloves. It would have been cool if he had some sort of blue on his shoulders. I don't know if they could make a piece maybe similar to Jean Grey's that give him the little blue shoulders. I think that would complete this minifigure. His claws, like we've seen in the past, are just little claw pieces that he holds in his hands. There's printing on the back as well. And then he has this cool cowl. Underneath, on one side, he's got whited out eyes, crazy sideburns, and a teethy grin. And then on the other side, we've got a face with kind of this smug expression. This guy also comes with a buildable motorcycle You don't really have to build much. I think it's just a couple pieces like a handlebar, a light, attaching some wheels. And then we get our Gambit. Of all the minifigures, I think the printing on this guy looks the best. It's consistent from torso to legs. He's got the brown jacket and brown pants. And then we have this cool pink and blue on the inside with the shiny silver highlights. I really like the line details in his lapel. He's got two faces, both have the red eyes. One's got kind of the smirk, and the other one more of a serious, mean look. Nice wavy brown hair. He comes with his little bow or staff, and then this little energy wave that has the 3 cards attached to it. We've got an ace of spades, an ace of hearts, and an ace of X-Men. And then finally, we get our buildable Sentinel. This was a fun little build. He's got this nice purple and pink color scheme, some ball joints kind of on his upper calf. It's not right at his knee. It's actually right above his boot, which is a little bit weird. His kneecaps are obviously these circular pieces, but he actually bends a little bit below that. The legs move at the hips, and the torso also ratchets a full 360 degrees. He's also got ball joints on his wrists, his elbows and shoulders, as well as his neck. The little circle on his chest is a sticker, but his face is printed on. He's got 3 fingers and the thumb. Not really sure he can grab onto too many things with this, but he does come with this cool little lasso that we can tighten up by pulling it. It's strong enough to hold up a minifigure, so that's kind of cool. So this set had a lot of stickers. Actually, when I looked at the sticker sheet when I finished building, I thought I forgot a whole bunch because there are all of these that are still left over. They're optional. You can stick these on the Sentinel, on the side of the walls, wherever you feel the need to stick them. The cool thing with these minifigures is you can pose them in all different ways. They come with these transparent pieces that attach to the building, to the Sentinel, to the ground. So up here on the roof, we've got Storm. She is flying in the air. She's attached to the chimney via this transparent piece. And she is trying to zap Magneto here, who is at the very tippy top of the mansion. Or as the sign down here at the bottom would suggest, Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. There's another space on the opposite chimney, as well as some other places around the mansion that we can plug these transparent pieces in, so we're not limited to just the chimney. Down here in front, we've got a little action scene going on here. We've got Jean Grey, Iceman, and Bishop, this exploding fire hydrant. The Force is kind of knocking down this light post. Bishop over here is also on one of those curved transparent pieces, but he has an additional piece as well that he kind of stands on, making it look like he's jumping out of some sort of portal. We've got Charles Xavier in the hover chair, Rogue up here on the balcony. Then we've got the big Sentinel over on the left side. He's got Cyclops kind of in a little lasso, while Gambit is over here on the side with his cards. And then down here at the bottom, we've got Wolverine popping a wheelie. Behind the Sentinel, we've got another one of these cool scenes where things are kind of falling apart and kind of hanging in midair. We got pieces of the wall on the ground, crumbled brick. We see that part of the wall is missing. There is quite a bit of grass out here in the front. We've got some trees as well, some little plants and bushes. Some of the gray areas have studs. A lot of them are smooth tiles, so there are plenty of places to connect our minifigures. So as we look all the way around this thing, pretty cool little building. And I do mean little. For many Lego sets, when you buy this set, you see the big box, you see the big picture on the box. However, whenever you build it, it's usually a lot smaller than it appears on the box. And that can be a good thing or a bad thing. You don't want to have too many big Lego sets that are either hard to move or hard to display. But I would have liked to see this thing a little bit bigger. So if you take a look at the profile of this set, you'll notice that the actual mansion takes up a very small percentage of the actual depth of the set. We've got a lot of room up here in the front, like I said, to create a little scene. However, the actual school is pretty small. So here's a look at the back of the mansion. We've got some cool things going on here. Again, we see these little connection areas where we can stick the minifigures. We have a little basketball hoop, a little caution, maybe electrical box in there, some boxes on the ground. I don't know if that's garbage. Little orange basketball. Here we have the little sticker. Some of you comic collectors might recognize it from the cover of X-Men number 141. That is the Days of Future Past storyline. We got a little backdoor exit right next to it. Here is a little drain pipe with a little puddle of water down there, which I thought was a nice touch. We got a Nightcrawler, Man or Monster, a Dazzler live in concert poster here on the back, as well as this one that says Claws. And then we have a little dumpster with a little frog sitting in the corner. Inside the dumpster, we have a bunch of stuff. We have some money, a sword, maybe belongs to Nightcrawler, a hat that is probably Logan's. I'm not sure why they're all in the dumpster, but they are. Some little air conditioning units. So when I look at the back of the mansion, it doesn't really look like the back of a mansion. It looks like kind of the back alleyway of some stores or businesses. Not something you would see in the backyard of an upscale mansion. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the building here. So on the front of the building, we got some nice steps leading up to the double doors, some pillars that act as decoration and also hold up this balcony in the front. The whole building is only 2 stories. I believe the X Mansion in the animated series was 3 stories. But again, if you build 3 stories with such a narrow depth, probably look a little weird. I wish it was 3 stories, but they made it smaller in order to have a lower price point. The 2 doors in the front open. Once we take this thing apart, I'll show you guys what it looks like on the inside. Also, we've got 2 double doors up here that are transparent that lead to the balcony. This dome right here kind of just sits on there by gravity. There aren't any studs holding it in place. Not much going on the inside. There is a little play feature here. This whole thing is kind of meant to break apart. There is a little lever here on the back, and when you push down on it, this happens. So the little front railing bursts off into 2 pieces, and then whoever's sitting on the top goes flying. It looks like this window took a hit as well, and Magneto is just lying there on his back now. Oh, I don't feel so good. So the whole mansion is modular. This whole thing breaks down into 6 different pieces. So let's go ahead and remove the roof. So here we have the one piece here on this side. We have the roof and chimney on this side. And then this whole centerpiece comes off as well. And now we have a good view of the top floor. So this whole building has a larger center section that goes down 2 corridors on either side into a smaller room. So we'll start over here in the middle. There is a little elevator. On one side it says if you go to the left, you go to the lab. And if you go to the right, it just has an arrow, level 1, I guess. We have an up and down button. However, there's not really a way to go up from here. Maybe it's attic access. I guess the up button, although there's not really a compartment or an outlet for an elevator, I guess that's how you get up here to the top of the dome. So right over here, we've got a little control panel with some gauges on it. And then over here in the corner, we have, it looks like an MRI machine or an X-ray machine of some sort. And underneath, we can see that there is something under there. In order to reveal what it is, we can just move the table up and we can see that it's actually an X-ray of Wolverine's arm. We've got Cerebro here. We have the little headpiece on a stand that's kind of connected to this window here in the corner. We've got a monitor on the side, all these levels, charts, and graphs. And then right next to that, we have this little cockpit piece that has a sticker of the world map and the location of various individuals around the world. Next to that, we have a green can, a bunch of books and papers sitting on a chest of drawers. Inside the first drawer, we have a cookie. And then on the bottom drawer, we have a syringe. So Kind of interesting that we have a cookie there. Hopefully somebody eats it before the rats get to it. Then if you continue down the hallway, we get to this little computer room where there is a little monitor, a keyboard and mouse. On the monitor, we have some sort of genetic display with the double helix here. Maybe trying to analyze Wolverine's DNA. We've got a bunch of clear containers here as well as a little microscope. On the floor, we have a spilt cup of coffee. And then once we go through the corridor, we get to the bedroom. And it's kind of strange that this is the only bedroom in this entire mansion, and there are only 2 beds. I guess somebody could sleep on the MRI table if they wanted to. On one bed, it looks like it might belong to either Jean Grey or Scott Summers, because there is a little black and white picture of them on the bed. We got some white pillows, a little green bottle down by the base of the bed, and a katana mounted on the wall. Then we follow that around in between the 2 beds. We have a nightstand or a dresser that has a boombox on the top, a little green army man, and a pack of Gubble Bubble chewing gum. On the floor, we have a copy of X-Men #1, and then we have a blue bed on the other side, as well as a little Wolverine calendar hanging there on the wall. All right, so that's the bedroom. Then if we go the other direction and head over to the other wing of the mansion, we have a little observation control room here. Looks like we have a little chessboard that's just on the floor. These X-Men need to learn how to keep their house up a little better. They need a housekeeper. So over here we've got a bunch of different controls and monitors. We have a glass observation window where we can kind of see and control what goes on inside the danger room. Of course, the danger room, if you're not familiar, is the training area of the X-Men. So we can kind of take a look down into the danger room. It is 2 stories high. Up on the top level, we got a security camera, a couple of saw blades, some lasers coming out of the wall. There are some Easter eggs here in the danger room. Here's a little sticker that says UX 266, which is referring to this comic book right here, The Uncanny X-Men #266, which featured the first appearance of Gambit. It's 141965. This one is a reference to this comic book right here. This is X-Men #14, which came out in 1965 and features the first appearance of the Sentinels. We also have E92131, and this one refers to Earth 92131, which is the universe in which the animated series takes place. We also have E13122, which is the Lego Marvel Universe. Got some spikes on the wall. I guess in order to get in here, there's a feature where you can actually pull out the entire wall. Let's go ahead and take a look at the bottom story. Just remove that. We remove this piece, and then we remove this whole piece. We can see straight down into the mansion. Once you come through the double doors right here, you come into this little foyer. Big red X on the bottom with the blue and yellow. We got 2 little seats there to relax in. Green house plant in the corner. In the other corner, a little fountain or statue. We got Professor X and Magneto hanging out. There's a picture of them opening up the school together. Then a little group photo of the original team over on the other side. There's a sign that says if you go to the left, you go to class. If you go to the right, you go to the danger room. Then on the opposite side, we've got a little bust statue in the back, and then we have the elevator. Again, with the up and down buttons, although you can't really go down anywhere. And then the little up and down indicator lights on the top of the elevator. And then here we have the emergency exit or back door right next to the elevator, which is convenient. Then if we head over to the classroom, we pass through a hallway with some books, and then we come to our little classroom, which has 2 desks here. So I guess at this moment there are only 2 gifted youngsters living here at the mansion. We've got a little travel magazine on the floor, a globe in the corner, a little chalkboard that says important info, and then it's kind of been erased, and then there's a picture of Wolverine in the X-Jet, and it's signed Logan on the bottom. I guess Logan's one of the students, and he doesn't like to pay attention in class. There is a little play feature here. So on one side, we have this little AC unit, and if we slide it to one side, it kind of reveals some instructions on how to defeat the Sentinel. But there you go, that's the classroom. As we go into the little corridor leading to the danger room, we see some newspapers with the headline that reads, "Mutant Registration Vote." We have a fire extinguisher as well as a TV monitor playing the news. It's a picture of the Sentinels hunting down mutants, and it says "Mutants Everywhere." And the little reporter looks like he's stressing out. Looks like he has 3 arms, so I guess he's a mutant. Then we come up to this big sliding door. Again, another play feature. We just pull on this little electric box on the outside, and it slides the door open. And here we go into the danger room. So we got flames coming out of the wall. We got spikes on the floor, rockets on the wall, all sorts of little obstacles and stuff. And just like the second level, the walls on this kind of pop right out. So that was a look at the inside. Let's go ahead and put everything back together. So put this center section back here, the left side, the right side. And there we go. Everything is back and intact. So this thing was a pretty straightforward and easy build. It didn't take a whole lot of time. There are a lot of bags, but those bags go pretty quickly. There were a lot of windows that we had to make, a lot of these brick walls, of course, but nothing too challenging. So final thoughts on this set. I think it's a cool set. You get a lot of cool minifigures, especially if you're into X-Men like me. I'm glad that they went with the comic book inspired look rather than a movie inspired look, especially when it comes to the minifigures. They got the comic book colors, which I love. The mansion, I thought, was very reminiscent of the comic books and the animated series. I do wish that it was a little bit bigger. Again, this set was $330. I wouldn't expect a huge giant set for that price, but since this is sort of a display piece for me, I'm fine with the smaller size. It'll definitely give me space to put other things. As far as a play set goes, probably won't be opening this thing up to play around with it too much. I do like the Daily Bugle set a little bit better, but again, that's a bigger and more expensive set. So I think if you're an X-Men and Lego fan, this is definitely a must-have. If you're not so much into comic books or the X-Men, maybe this is a pass and just get the Natural History Museum, which also has a lot of cool things in it, just not X-Men related. But I'm happy they actually came out with a Lego X Mansion. I'm hoping they continue with the line and make a lot more comic book characters. It would fit right in with my collection. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and also let me know what Lego set you want to see next. Don't forget to head over to my other channel, DT's Geek Show, and subscribe over there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.